Okay, so I am going to apologize again. I'm kind of casual today, as you probably saw in my lab video. I was out doing some field work today, so that's why I have the hat and the hat hair that I'm hiding. So anyway, I wanted to go ahead and do our week 3 announcements just to let you know what we're doing. And so let me go ahead and share my screen with you so that way then you can see what you need to do, where you need to go this week. So for this week, again, just I I myself use the schedules. I print them out. I print out the lecture schedule and the lab schedule because I just like to have like a paper copy, and then I like to cross off the weeks as we get through them. So that way, then I know where we are at in terms of lecture and lab, and where I need to make sure I keep you. So this is week 3, and we are, for lecture purposes, again, if we scroll down here to exam 1, we're going to go ahead and finish off cell structure and function. And I'm sorry, I know lab and lecture are a little bit out of sync, but sometimes it's nice to get lab before lecture because it will you're memorizing terms and where things are. And then when you get to lecture, it's not the first time that you're hearing those terms. So there are some advantages to having the lab before the lecture. So again, you're finishing off cell structure and function. If you haven't already finished those lectures, please make sure that you finish the lectures. And again, there's the 3 different formats. You can pick which format, if you like a PowerPoint, a PDF format of the PowerPoints to print, or again, just a lecture outline without any pictures. And again, the cell lectures are broken up into those 5 shorter lectures. So you can watch those, especially again, if you haven't had cell structure and function in a long time, make sure you take a little extra time with that. Unfortunately, it's meant to be a review. So I know for some of you that haven't had this for a long period of time, this is feeling like a lot of information. And that's, again, you just have to spend a little extra time in the beginning here. So that way, then you make sure that you have a good foundation for the rest of anatomy. So we're going to take, again, the cell quiz this week on the 9th, which is Friday. So make sure that you take that cell quiz. And it's, again, just like always, due at 11:59 p.m. So that's the first part of lecture. So then if you click back to exam 1, the second half of the week, you should be getting into tissues. So, and if you can, spend the weekend, if you have the weekend, and try to get ahead and get through tissues, because as you can see, the following week we have the first lecture exam, which is on Friday. And I want to make sure that you have this good foundation. So if it were me, I would spend the weekend doing all of tissues and make sure that I had that done before week 4. So that way, then when you get to week 4, you can just review. Okay. Also, it will help you in terms of studying for the practical. You're going to see, once you get into these tissue lectures, you're going to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. That's why we have to know that. So again, you can see, you can download the PowerPoint there, watch the lectures, and then you'll see the tissue quiz is actually due on the 16th, which is going to be when your exam is. So if you want to, you can take that quiz at any point in time. You don't have to take it right before you take the exam. But I like to give you, that time if you want to take it the day before the exam. Make sure that you are, had studied for it, and then use this quiz as a test to see, like, how well do I know the tissues before I take the exam? Okay. Or do I need to go back and study a few areas? So that's why I have that set up that way. So again, make sure that you can get through those tissues, if you can, by the end of next weekend is ideal, and that will keep you on track. Okay. And then I will actually talk about the exam more so in my next week's beginning of announcements. Because the exam is not, I don't want you to get confused. The exam is not this week. It's not this weekend. Again, you have this weekend to really work on tissues. Okay, so let's go ahead and go home, and then let's talk about the lab. So, and I'm looking at my old handy dandy paper, again, lab schedule. So in lab this week, again, for week 3, we are jumping ahead a little bit. So we are going to be doing histology, and you're going to see, we're going to finish off histology with muscle tissue and nervous tissue. So remember, there's those 4 tissue types that we talked about in histology. There's epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue, and nervous tissue. So we're doing those last 2 tissue types. Most of it's going to be on muscle tissue. You only need to know 1 slide for nervous tissue. So it's pretty basic. And then if you look here, I don't have it yet posted because I just recorded the video. But I will have it posted before this announcement is posted. So you'll look down here and then you'll see, watch the intro to muscle tissue and nervous tissue video. So I did record that just prior to this. I will have that posted for you. Watch that video. I walk you through. I will warn you, it's a little bit of a longer video. And the only reason it is that I feel like it's not fair to you to give you these parts and not explain just a little bit of why the parts are there. Because for me, I can't remember the parts without knowing what their function is. Like, I can't remember an intercalated disc if I don't know why cardiac muscle tissue has it. Okay. So hopefully that will help you out a little bit, but I do apologize. It is just a little bit longer. So you can go through, listen, watch that lab introduction. And then you can go through the slides for muscles here. Make sure you also scroll down in this link here and go to the muscle models and look at those. I do mention them in the videos this time. I didn't forget the models. And then you can go look at that one slide for the nervous tissue. So please, when you click on this, it says first slide only. So I'm just going to click on it for you so you don't freak out. When you see this, there's going to be all of these those slides, all those nervous slides are for when we get to the nervous system. So this is the only slide you have to know. This one right here, multipolar neuron. That's it. Okay. So hopefully that should alleviate some of your fears with that. So again, only that one slide. And then you can do the muscle labeling and the muscle tissue lab flashcards that you have there. Okay. So then that's the first part of the week. And then, so lab is a little heavy this week because then we need to keep on track. And so to keep on track, we have to introduce the skin lab, which is a little bit of a bummer because we haven't had the lecture on this. So there are PowerPoint slides here. You can, again, review the online versions of slides. And then there is a video that was made by Dr. Morley, and it's a shorter video on the histology of skin. It's about, I think, 7 minutes long. And so, she actually does a very good job of keeping this succinct. So we all of us anatomy instructors kind of share resources. So I'm going to leave this one up here. If it's not enough for you guys, some of you earlier students that are going through this and you're like, we need a little more, I will record a video for you as well if you feel like you need that. I know my videos tend to be a little longer. So please let me know as you're going through that if you feel like you need a longer video. But for the skin histology and the skin slides, again, we're just having you identify things. You do not have to know the function. That won't be until we get to the integumentary system, which will be after in lecture, which will be after the first exam. Okay. And then there is a skin histology and models practice quiz that you can take here. So, and again, there are some extra things here. So there is Dr. Morley had put the flashcards, the StudyMate flashcards. So you can go through the StudyMate flashcards on that link as well. And then you can, as you go down, there's also the soft chalk activities. So, all right, that is it for this week. That's plenty. Again, I know that some of you are starting to feel the magnitude of anatomy and physiology. If you are starting to feel that and you're confused and you need some help, set up some time with me. I'm happy to do virtual meetings with you. I can do Google Meet, I can do Zoom, I can do WebEx, whatever works for you, but just send me an email and I will set up some time with you. All right, other than that, have a great week, and hopefully then I will connect with you sometime this week through either your Muddiest Points or email.